Good evening, this is Wolvenom speaking again with part 8 of my castle MontyClere. I'm now going to work on decoration in the dining room and the guild hall ballroom thingy. Here is the front room for the kitchen, and I'm testing out the Sims wallpapers again. I'm not gonna have the most posh wallpaper here. Trying to select something I have already used, because I will have a problem with file size on this house. It's gonna be too big for TSR quite fast if I just go on adding more wallpaper. This is the floor, perhaps ceiling, in the living room. And I have forgotten one little piece of wall there, as you can see. And I'm adding that little wall. It's going dark. And here is the tower I've been thinking about adding on this corner for quite a while. It was a bit too big first, so I needed to add it a bit smaller. And this shape is perhaps not most interesting, but we'll see how it looks. I can change the shape of that tower later if I want to. I'm painting all the inner and outer walls to make it easier to recolor later. Then I won't need to go around looking for walls I have forgotten to paint. And here I'm just adding a little addition to the side here, and that's proving hard. It's obviously because the floor level isn't leveled yet. That's a part of the risk when you're making using constrained floor elevation on a big house like this. Any house really. It won't go there because I already have a window there. And here I'm gonna use a medieval type wall cover. I'll be using the same kind of style in the guild hall ballroom. So that's gonna be quite a lot of file sizes, what do you call it, on my file. Some of these walls looks like they are supposed to be used together to shape a form, and I'm just adding a little bit of warm corner. I really like that red one, but it's looking slightly like it needs to be divided. You can't really cover a long wall. That may just be my my view. I think it looks very much like some of the wallpapers I've seen on old English castles, like Hampton Court. They had a few of those. And in the kitchen here I'm just going to use a default EA pattern. Hopefully it's lighter. but I want it to look like there is a brick shape just covered with mortar, or what you call it, limestone, chalk. Yeah, this is the bathroom in the little corner there. And I'm trying to fit these doors, the handles, the best way, so I don't have to look at Sims walking through doors. And I'm painting down the basement at the same time. And I now add on walls by the staircases down in the basement. The wooden sides to the staircase will go through the wall, but I don't want to put up walls down the basement quite yet, so it just has to be like that. It's just gonna be down the basement anyway, so I'll survive. And I think this one is looking very medieval, perhaps a bit too much. And I'm just adjusting the wood colors. Trying to find something that fits the wall cover. The floor pattern is just an default EA. I think it's perhaps even base game. I'm just trying to find some colors that match fairly close, so it's not too much difference in the pattern. And here in the hallway I'm trying to find a deep red because it fits better with medieval castles, I think. That red pattern is a really quite boring black on a white background. But if you recolor it, it can be very interesting. And I'm now trying to find something more medieval looking, refer more pattern on the floor. Like that. And then I need a floor pattern in the hall. And I have selected well, I got boring again. Default EA pattern. I'm going slightly red on this one. Perhaps not very interesting floor pattern, but the walls will be very nice and red velvet from Astra Sims, so that may not be as important. You can see the top part of this pattern wallpaper from Astra Sims. It's looking very nice on a love foundation, because only the top part of the pattern is visible. And here I'm fitting windows the same way as in the swimming pool. If you're hearing that strange noise, it's a hanging dingling thing on my sweater. As you can see, this pattern from Astro Sims is very nice, and I can use it on 2 floors. But the CFE wall is still visible. I always try to put in the windows all the same way. And here is a fireplace from EA. I could download a slightly different one. I think Cashcrafts has one very nice medieval fireplace. Here I'm just using move objects on to remove the back part of the fireplace. I really didn't need to do that here because it's just hidden behind the wall. And I'm placing the invisible roof lights from Bydebug in some places, and then you see I have the chandelier from the EA store, 4 of those, but the main light will be from the invisible wall lights, ceiling lights. I have 3 floors to cover here, and some of them are only 4 clicks high. And it's not really a problem to place lights in foundation level. I just place it there, and it covers that floor. But then I need a new one, and it is 4 clicks higher on the 2nd floor. And here I have a problem with my trackball again. It's losing grip. I'm just copying the outside columns, putting them indoor. That stone from EA I'm using is one of my favorites. It's looking so nicely on columns like this. It's not as good on the floor, but columns are great. And I'm just using the same on the fireplace. I'm just using the same wood on the fireplace as on the floor. I'm just adjusting the color to fit better in the lights. The light on objects affects the patterns you use. Sometimes when objects are made by some creator, they may adjust the lights according to that object in a specific setting, and it may not work in other settings. I can now adjust the light on this hall to a more yellowy tone, and here I'm out traveling. And I'm just doing a little bit of late touches. This one has been bugging me for a while. That was part 8, so see you in part 9. Thank you.